Yo, today we're shooting slow motion with the Sony HX80. Now, some of you advanced people out there, you probably already know how to use 60 frames per second and slow that footage down in post-production, but we can't forget about our beginners. So if you need to know how to shoot slow motion with the Sony HX80, this is the video for you. Stick around. All right, so let's get into it. Slow motion and 60 frames per second, that is something that, people tend to skip over a lot of steps. They don't explain it very well. So the Sony HX80 shoots in 60 frames per second. That in and of itself is not slow motion. 60 frames per second is not slow motion, okay? All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take a look at this clip right now. I shot it in 60 frames per second, and I will show you what it looks like in 60 frames per second and then what it looks like once we slow it down. All right, so here we are inside of Premiere Pro in an attempt to make this tutorial, fun and exciting and not boring. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start moving. So let's go ahead and hit the sequence button. We're going to go with a DSLR 1080 24 sequence. Let's go ahead, we'll just call this test. Always good. That's always a good name for a sequence. All right, so we've got our test sequence. Here is the clip that we shot with the Sony HX80, and as you can see, it was shot in 60 frames per second. All right, so let's go ahead and double click that. So we are going to take just our video. Because there are two different frame rates, okay, you're gonna get this warning. This clip does not match the sequence settings. Change sequence settings to match the clip settings. No, you do not want to do that. Premiere would go ahead and change your sequence settings to 60 frames per second. All right, that's not what we want. So we're going to hit keep existing settings. All right, so as you can see, this is not slow motion. We have some work to do in order to get it into slow motion, all right? And it's not hard. There are two ways to do this, okay? We could take this clip and we could duplicate it. We could right click on it, go down to modify, interpret footage. We could go up here, assume this frame rate. And what we would put is 24. That would turn this into a 24 frame per second clip, okay? So this right now, this clip right now is in slow motion. If you don't want to go through all of that stuff into the modify, interpret footage, you don't have to. You can take our original clip that we put right over here. What you can do is just right click, work your way down to speed and duration. And this is where you're working with percents. All right, so all you need to do is take that down to 40%, okay? And as you'll notice, your clip gets longer, and that's because we slowed everything down. It takes a longer period of time to play a slower clip. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. As you can see, things are slow. You can see back here the waterfall is falling very slow, okay? Now let's go ahead and just undo that really quick. And you can see how fast that waterfall is flowing in the back. So as you can see, shooting in 60 frames per second isn't actually shooting in slow motion, all right? Like I said, it's one of those things that people just say like, oh my God, the Sony HX80 has 60 frames per second. It shoots in slow motion. 60 frames per second enables you to get very smooth and awesome slow motion in your videos. So if this video helped you out, I want you to get down there, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. I want you to come back and visit this channel, and I want you guys to learn some more stuff about video and let me know what you want to know about video, and I'll try and make a video about it. All right, I just said the word video a lot of times. All right, I'm out. See ya.